Three in the rear as usual. Sockeye out in front. Followed on the right shoulder by King. Followed on the right shoulder by King.
Someday I might get a chance to meet you. The day has come.
Fresh out of the oven, I baked some salmon.
Shoulder right King. Followed on the right shoulder right King.
Looks like it's just you and me, little guy.
You look full. What's up, King?
It is Band T Friday. We're not going to give it up. And Ariel, who you representing?
I've got Rilo Kiley here. I got this shirt from their show at Chateau Ste. Michelle last year. And real quick, short story, my favorite moment from that concert. My wife had just had ACL surgery, so she's there like on her crutches. She got really into a song, lifted a crutch up, and just fell like completely over. And as soon as I found out that she was okay, it was, the funniest thing that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's always, if they're okay,
if
we can make,
okay,
make some jokes. That's right.
Afterwards.
All right. All right, Terry, it's my fault. You know, like Terry and I talked yesterday, but I forgot to tee him up on the Band T Friday. So he usually always contributes.
You know I'm all in on Band T.
all in.
And I had one. I even put one on today. But here, I'm going, again, lay some blame on you.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
my
people on the
fault.
show.
I will take full
I've been
accountability.
watching all week, and these guys have been wearing these beautiful King 5 polos and looking so professional. I didn't want to be the odd man out, so I just came neutral.
Yeah,
and
that's all right, man. That's all right. It's on me. I had the discussion with Terry, and I blew it. So I dropped the ball. I'm wearing a Pearl Jam today. As you can see, a little dedication. If you can see it over Terry's shoulders, I'm not sure.
Here we go.
But, you know, we had to put Terry in the middle so we didn't all get squeezed out.
I like that
so we can turn sideways
I
and
like
be
that you
next
needed
to Terry.
to do a nice little, like, trap.
See that? Of all the people, right? It's humble flex, right? Check out my back of my shirt. I've been doing
Otherwise, people can't tell. 10 Club. All right, let's get to it.
We're continuing to see just devastating video come in from all across Spokane County. Level 3 Go Now evacuations are in place for the following areas: Newkirk Road to the north and trails on the south, Dowdy on the east, and Westwood on the west, Woodside on the north, trails on the south, Spokane River on the west, and 9 Mile Assembly on the east.
This is a nuclear bomb going off in our neighborhoods, and it's not like forest fires because this is condensed into where it's demographically a lot of people. So it's really tragic.
Officials say the fire has already burned thousands of acres and thousands of buildings are in the threatened area. Right now, the cause of the fire is under investigation. The National Weather Service had already issued a particularly dangerous situation red flag warning across central and eastern Washington. That designation prompted Governor Bob Ferguson to issue a burn ban as of Saturday, and that is in effect until September 30th. Power had to be shut off to hundreds of homes in some areas due to these extreme conditions. The Mann Grandstaff VA Medical Center has been fully evacuated. The VA said 27 patients are currently under their care of staff at shelter areas. The Red Cross says the evacuation shelter at Spokane Falls Community College is closed and evacuees will be relocated to a shelter at Spokane Convention Center. The Red Cross is asking anyone wishing to help to call this number right now. It's 1-800-RED-CROSS. That's 800-733-2767. Donations will be taken by folks answering the phones 24/7.
A fast-moving fire threatens Spokane County. The Old Trails fire sparked just yesterday afternoon and has already jumped to 3,500 acres. Thousands of people on the northwest side of the city are under Level 3 Go Now evacuations as of this Sunday morning. 7,000 people are without power. Utility companies had to shut it off because of the extreme conditions. It's not clear how many structures have been destroyed, but new video shows the flames ripping through homes. Spokane Falls Community College was originally chosen as an evacuation shelter. It has since closed. Now evacuees are being taken to Spokane Convention Center. The city of Spokane has activated the National Guard. At least 2 units have been activated as of Saturday night. New video shows a plane dropping fire retardant over the flames encroaching on Spokane. The Old Trails fire sparked Saturday at noon and has already exploded in size. Dry weather across our state has upped the risk for fires to spread.
For as much criticism as Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson's office and Chief Sean Barnes and the Seattle Police Department have faced over how they handled the hours after that mass shooting at Seattle Center, well, the body camera footage shows extreme urgency from the officers who were there. All of this just released by the Seattle Police Department, showing officers as they literally hear the gunshots and then run through the confused and increasingly terrified crowds, ultimately finding victims, helping them, help treat the wounded.
I know they say wait for this, so I'm gonna go for it.
About 3 minutes after those shots were heard, body camera footage shows an officer escorting one of the suspects.
Yeah, I mean, everything is kind of symbolic and represents something sentimental. And yeah, I kind of like having it so I can look down at it and it helps me think about a person or a situation, and that's kind of why I like it.
Yeah, a little inspiration, a little motivation.
Yeah.
And then we talked, maybe there's something on the horizon for you?
Yeah, might would like to get something that represents the Super Bowl win, obviously. Something symbolic. Would be cool, maybe to represent like that whole season and the team and the guys and, you know, what we went through to get that win.
Last year we talked to Mike Morris, and he said that Mike McDonald will come into the D-line room and then, you know, be kind of awkward and then say, hey, why is it so awkward in here? And Mike said that a lot of the players will say, because you came in here and made it awkward. So Mike, that's just his personality. I think he's hilarious. He's got a great sense of humor, and you know, the guys love him. But you know, that's like he said, we need to be us, and that's the thing I think he really concentrates on with his players is let them be who they are, and that's really cool. And I love his personality. I think it is kind of quirky. And the other thing about him is he'll light people up every once in a while. You hear him out at practice if he's not happy about how a drill is going. Yeah, I mean, he's a highly intelligent person, but like, you know, you can hear some swear words coming out sometime. He's like a typical football coach. And yeah, he's kind of old school in that way.
What the heck is happening in Olympia? Don't worry, this is a planned demolition project. This is the old General Administration building. It served the state of Washington for more than 60 years here on the corner of the state capitol campus. But the building was in need of repair, and it wasn't structurally, seismically sound. There also was asbestos in there, so the state has decided to tear it down. And they're not doing a big Las Vegas style implosion. They're taking it apart pretty meticulously. They went in and carved out all of the innards over several months, and then the last 6 weeks or so they've actually been doing the heavy demo. So it's been fun to watch. Sad to see it go. Guess what they're putting in here? A parking lot.
We've had new wildfires break out east of the Cascades today alone. That is why we had that PDS red flag warning in place, a particularly dangerous situation, the highest level of a red flag warning. So not an ordinary red flag warning. This is the highest level, saying that extreme fire conditions are expected. And this is why that was issued. Several wildfires broke out in Spokane County, and they spread rapidly. You can see on the GO satellite loop just how many wildfires we have in our region and how large they are and all of the smoke coming from them. I also wanted to share some videos taken by our viewer Frank Perryman Jr. He took these from Chelan. This is a view of the Little Giant fire, all the smoke coming in from that fire, especially once winds started to pick up. It looks very apocalyptic. And yes, it's summer in the Northwest. It's wildfire season, but remember, it's only August 1st and we still have ways to go until we get into the wet season. So wildfires, as we know, can develop quickly. They can spread rapidly and grow. Brush fires could turn into large fires quickly. And we're so dry, we're about to get hot again, so it may not take much for a new fire to develop. So it's important to know what to do in case you are placed under an evacuation order, and make sure you have that plan ready to go for you, your family, and your pets.
Sean Barnes gets $590,000 after stepping down as Seattle's police chief. Here's his one-sentence resignation. He gets 18 months of salary, a year of health insurance benefits. The city agreed he doesn't have to repay a $50,000 hiring bonus or $60,000 in relocation assistance. Mayor Katie Wilson asked him to resign after criticism over the city's response in the 5 hours following the Bite of Seattle shooting at Seattle Center Sunday. 3 people were killed, including 1 shooting suspect, and 4 others were hurt. Police believe they're close to identifying and arresting a 3rd suspect.
We don't know the backstory. You know, we're not a fly on the wall in the mayor's office, but it certainly looks like scapegoating. From everything I've seen, from everything I've heard, it looks like she's trying to get a fall guy to get her off the hook. Letting him go or not, I think, was a toss-up. I don't think she should have done it this soon. I agree with the city council. I think they put out a real good statement. Don't make this judgment so quick.
We're going into Seafair weekend. 180,000 people expected for the hydro races, for the Blue Angels. The timing.
There's no reason why this firing couldn't have happened, if that's what she was bound to do, in a month or 2 months or even 6 months. It didn't have to happen this week so quickly, as far as everything we've seen.
Looking ahead, what is the realistic path for the Seattle Police Department over the next 12 to 24 months to get us back on track?
Seattle process. You know, how long is it going to take to get new police chief? She's already said she's going to pick the best nationwide search, best of the 3 people that show up. That takes time. So hopefully this police chief that she's now appointing as an interim can kind of calm things down and keep things on an even keel and continue the successes that Sean Barnes definitely had. Big picture, he is the 9th police chief since 2009. That says something about the city of Seattle. What is going on?
Our ancestors are still here, all around us. All in these forests is where my people come from. To be able to stop and join forces with the timber company is a magnificent feat, and I know that the ancestors are happy.
I think I'm a good fit for the district. I've served a good chunk of the district in the legislature for 14 years. I've grown a business here over the last 27 years. I understand both the challenges small and even medium-sized businesses face in the state of Washington, the federal government, regulatorily, and I understand, the folks that work with me here at our business. I understand the challenges they're facing, specifically with affordability, and more importantly, I have a record for actually solving hard problems.
It is really rare for somebody like me running a small business, young mom, to actually make it to Congress. Like, I'm not rich, and I've proven that I can be effective and independent and represent my district, even in the minority, to be able to advance things that matter to us, that recenter power on working people, and that's the work I'll keep doing.
Today I spoke with 2 survivors from last week's Susha Island floatplane crash. They recalled the harrowing moments before that plane went down. They say on board they had a good look at the pilot in the cockpit. The thing that stuck out to them was the fact that he apparently was trying to execute an emergency water landing when at the last minute, and this is new information, at the last minute he appeared to pull out of that water landing and abort, apparently trying to bring the plane to a different location. That was odd to these two passengers because they say despite the storm on the horizon, the waters and wings there at the spot where they were located were good. So that's a question that was raised for them as to why this pilot didn't just put the plane in the water safely where they were. Of course, the NTSB is investigating. Their preliminary report is due out in about a week.
It's hard to say what was going through my head. I mean, I thought I was dead.
We took a very tight hairpin turn after there was a lightning bolt. I thought about my family and my loved ones and just hope for a quick death, I guess. It seemed like maybe he didn't like that landing for some reason. And what appeared to me as, aborting the landing was, putting more power into the engine and then banking us left to try to escape that landing and try again, perhaps.
I think I was out of the plane for about 20 seconds, and then I went behind the cliff because I saw it on fire, and the plane blew up immediately. It was horrifying.
As terrible of a situation it is, it does bring me a lot of joy to see that there are great people out there, and we happened to find them that day, or they found us. In a weird way, it's comforting knowing that I'm not going through this alone, and I'm so grateful that I'm walking, and I'm so grateful that he is as well.
It's a second chance at life, and you never know when it's going to be your last day, so I intend on living that way, but it's going to take some work.
At City Hall Friday morning, Mayor Katie Wilson fielded questions about the departure of Police Chief Sean Barnes and the law enforcement veteran who's stepping in to fill the top cop role for now. Here's what we know. Wednesday, Wilson and Barnes talked. She did ask him to resign. He agreed to step down. Now we have Deputy Chief Andre Sales moving into that top cop role on an interim basis. Sales arrived in Seattle last year. He, before that, was a police chief in a city in Wisconsin. He's got 20 plus years of law enforcement experience, and he says that he is ready to take on this responsibility. He says he does not take the responsibility lightly. He knows that it's going to be a busy time. Lots of events are planned for the summer months here in Seattle, specifically Seafair, which is happening this weekend.
New at 4, Sound Transit says light rail could reach Ballard by the year 2042, but only if it can close a major funding gap over the next 7 years. The agency says it must find about $1 billion in cost savings or additional finance capacity by 2030. Then it needs to secure the remaining money by 2033 to keep the project on track. Without those savings, service to Ballard could be pushed back until around the year 2060. The full extension would run from Chinatown International District to Market Street in Ballard.
I moved to Seattle nearly 5 years ago, and it was my first time at Northwest Trek, and I want to take you along with me and what I saw on the tram. No talking, I'll put some facts on there, but just enjoy, and I hope you can get out here if you haven't been here yet, or come back.
We have an incredibly rare alert that has been issued by the National Weather Service that basically is saying our fire risk is at its absolute highest. I want to show you why this is happening. So if you take a big picture look, this is a low pressure system that's rotating into the northwest on Saturday. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a ton of rain affiliated with it. So as it's moving through during the day on Saturday, little bit of showers, but they're falling apart. By the time it gets to eastern Washington, it's dry. So what that means is central and eastern Washington are one of the many areas that are under red flag warnings. You can see it's a massive portion of the Northwest, unfortunately. But as we take a closer look at central and eastern Washington, these red flag warnings in place for Saturday, this is kind of normal. We see this time of the year. It's dry, it's warm, it's windy, typical summer condition. But what I want to highlight for you is that the National Weather Service Spokane office has now issued a particularly dangerous situation. Now, what this means is our vegetation on the ground, our conditions in the sky, everything is at its absolute worst scenario. So should a fire start, it will spread. It will spread quickly. It could be potentially dangerous. So everyone in this area in eastern Washington around Spokane does need to be on high alert for Saturday afternoon and evening. Hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully no fires start, but should fires start, they will spread. I'm so excited about our August episode of The Sky Above. It's our monthly astronomy show. We tell you what is heading your way in the sky so you know when to look up, never miss a thing. This month, August of 2026, is huge. We have so much going on. It's a packed show. So here are some of the headlines. I want you to watch the full special, but we're talking about the Perseid meteor shower. It is known as the most impressive meteor shower of the year. We're talking around 100 meteors per hour possible. In the show, I'll tell you when to watch, where to watch, how to see that impressive show. Plus, we have not only a solar, but a lunar eclipse as well happening in August. We'll walk you through who will be able to see those eclipses in the month of August. And I'm joined, my new guest for the month is a Washington astronaut. He's been to space. He walks us through the contest that he lost, but then ended up winning. Got him to space. It's fascinating. If you want to watch The Sky Above, it's streaming on King 5 Plus right now. It's on our King 5 website, and it's airing on King 5 Saturday at 7:30 p.m. I hope you watch.